Multi-streaming. Should you do it? Should you not? Let's talk about it. I see the question asked, should I multi-stream when I'm just starting out, in other streamers' chats, and even in my own? And since every streamer seems to have a different opinion on it, I figured I'd give my own here in this video, and hopefully it helps one of you decide whether or not you should multi-stream. And as we're going through this topic, I'm going to be referencing back to Heller, who, if you haven't heard of him, he runs Alpha Gaming channel. You probably have heard of him. If you've watched any of my videos at all, a lot of my stuff relates to stuff that he talks about as well, so chances are you've heard of him because, well, he has a pretty big presence here on YouTube. And he's someone I look up to a lot and really value his opinion. And recently he switched from Twitch to YouTube for full-time streaming. And during his first stream here on YouTube just the other day, he talked about the topic of multi-streaming. So throughout this video, I'll be pulling clips of that and different points that he hits about multi-streaming and my thoughts about it, whether I agree, whether I disagree, and why that is. And if you want to go watch his entire first stream here on YouTube, I'll leave a link to that in the description below and to his channels as well. And one of the first things that Harris mentions when he talks about multi-streaming is the fact that you kind of lose that sense of feeling that you're even live anymore. Let's listen.
I don't believe in multi-streaming. If you guys want to really know why, I mean, there are a lot of reasons why, but live streaming is a very intimate platform. It's very much like there's a chat here. I'm reading chat. I'm answering questions from chat. Like this one's from Leak Duck. It is a one-on-one. You're supposed to feel like you're in the room with the person. It's supposed to be very personal. And when you're multi-streaming, like, did you ever have that friend in high school? Some of you are still in high school. Did you ever have that friend that would sit at your table and then they'd go and sit at another table and they'd just be jumping, like table hopping? And they never really seemed like they were like anybody's friend. I feel like that's what multi-streaming is. You're not really giving any of the people hanging out with you the proper attention that they deserve. By the way, that person that jumped table to table, that was me. I did that too. And I didn't have like any friends. When you're sitting there in a stream and you're like talking this, like you're chatting with someone and they answer a different question, the stream doesn't feel live anymore.
And this is actually a point that I really agree with Harris on. Now take for example, Twitch. Twitch really prides himself in their community factor. So say you're now multi-streaming to Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, and you start to develop a little bit of a presence on Twitch itself. Obviously, one of the big parts of streaming is engaging with your chat. So say, especially as a small streamer, someone just starting out, it's pretty easy for viewers to see who's saying what in the chat and your response to them. Now say the streamer you're watching is responding to a question or a statement that you don't even see in that chat, and then you come to realize he's engaging with a totally different community over on Facebook or on YouTube. Now you totally lost that sense of community, that sense of togetherness, and like it's a personal interaction between you, the chat you're in, and the streamer itself. And that especially becomes true when that topic or question becomes a conversation within that chat and people are talking to each other in that chat and you're stuck over on one of the other two platforms where that discussion is not being had. So already you started to develop some sort of sense of division within your community. That's something that you viewers won't enjoy and you'll most likely drive them away. Now, the next point that Harris covers is the fact that he's never seen anyone succeed while multi-streaming.
Devin Nash saying the exact opposite. I know that's the one thing that Devin Nash is wrong on. It's literally the only thing we disagree on. And he says I'm wrong. I say he's wrong. But at the end of the day, no one has ever succeeded multi-streaming. So when someone does, when someone multi-streams and actually makes it, still that'll only be one person out of the thousands that are multi-streaming. But hey, if people start succeeding multi-streaming, I'll eat my words. Hasn't happened yet. It's never happened. So I'm not going to eat my words. I've got history on my side.
Now, right off the bat, I want to say that I don't know where this data is coming from. I don't know that he's put the time and research into seeing that nobody succeeded, or if he's just saying, I've just never come across someone that has. However, admittedly, I have found someone here on YouTube is where I found him. His name is Thin D. I'm not sure what he goes by, and I will not be guessing as to which one is correct. However, after I found him on YouTube, that same thing happened to me where I mentioned in my first point, he was answering questions and referring back to people that I didn't even see it in the chat that I was in. And then of course, during one of his intermission screens, he has his chat overlaid on the screen with him. And in that had a box with either the Facebook logo, Twitch logo, or YouTube logo from where that person was chatting from. So of course, from there, you can assume that he's obviously multi-streaming. And after seeing this, I went to each respective platform just to kind of see what's his viewership like. And on each one, he had probably 1,000, if not close to 1,000 on all 3 platforms. So going back to Harris's point of no one's ever succeeded multi-streaming, I don't really know what his definition of success is. It might just be as simple as during light browsing, he's never come across someone that has had success multi-streaming. However, in my opinion, the streamer I mentioned, I would deem as successful. But referring back to Harris's last point when talking about people succeeding with multi-streaming, it still is 1 in a million. This is the only person that I've seen multi-stream and be very successful at it. And again, it's true for me as well. That's just through light browsing. I randomly came across him. I wasn't actively searching for multi-streamers. And just to quickly note why I feel it's important that I talk about this topic as well is because Harris also mentions in his live stream, Devin Nash, who's also pretty popular for giving his streaming advice, talks about why he feels multi-streaming is good and why you should do it, and that's a topic they both disagree on. So whether you listen to what I'm saying here, what Harris has to say, or Devin Nash, take what everyone gives you and make your own informed decision on whether or not multi-streaming is the right choice for you. Although everyone may have their opinion on it, at the end of the day, you're the one building your brand. You need to make decisions that you feel is going to be best for your growth. Now moving on to the next point, we're talking about the fact that there's zero discoverability while streaming. This is something Harris mentions and that he and Devin Nash both agree on.
Streaming, there's zero discoverability in streaming. I talk about that a little bit more in the next video also. There's zero discoverability while streaming, and Devin and I actually agree on that. Being live, you do not get found while you're live. You get found from your videos. So putting yourself multiple places when none of those have any discoverability is just a distraction more than anything.
And personally, I feel like zero discoverability is kind of a blanket statement. I wouldn't go as far to say as you'll never be discovered while streaming. And I say that because I know from personal experience, my switch here to YouTube has led to a decent amount of my subscribers. A lot of people who have found me while live. I feel like that debunks the notion that there is zero discoverability while live. However, I do agree that the most of the traffic you're going to get driven to your channel is by making short form and long form content that lives on forever on your channel. Me saying that I've been discovered while live is no way me saying that you should only live stream and you'll be good. And this is especially true where I feel like it's safe to say there's zero discoverability on Twitch. With YouTube, they have a great algorithm. With the use of a clever title, thumbnail, the way you use your tags and utilize your description, you can be discovered while live. And last but not least, Harris mentioned something that kind of stuck out to me, and it's another point that I would be more inclined to disagree with, and that is the fact that multi-streaming does more harm than good.
Has Markiplier been successful on both platforms? You can be successful on multiple platforms. All I'm saying is the act of multi-streaming does more harm than good. That's all I'm saying.
And I think I need to rephrase here. I don't entirely disagree with his statement because, like I said in the beginning, the viewer, I do think that it could potentially hinder your growth because I do believe in the thought that it can cause division, a lack of a sense of an actual live stream, a lack of a personal experience between viewer and streamer. However, thinking about the streamer I mentioned in the beginning who has been successful with multi-streaming, that just shows me that it is possible to grow an audience on all 3 major streaming platforms. So it's hard for me to 100% say multi-streaming will hurt your growth. And it's all relative and based on the streamer's mindset of what success is to them. Because on the flip side, I also believe that this successful multi-streamer could be even more successful if he hunkered down and focused on one platform and pushed the other 2 platforms to the one he chose. Now, obviously, there's no cold, hard facts on what's right, what's wrong, what 100% works, what 100% doesn't work when it comes to multi-streaming. A lot of this is opinion, and it's obviously shown through Harris's opinion, Devin Nash's, and mine, which is honestly kind of a mix between the 2. But really, I feel like this is a good video for you guys because I'm like a good middle ground, realistic expectation of what multi-streaming could be for you. Contrary to what Harris says, there is proof of at least one person I've come across that has made a name for himself through multi-streaming. But on the other hand, like Harris also said, if there was that one person you did find, that's one in how many? So at the end of the day, is there a right or wrong? Should you multi-stream? Should you not? That I personally cannot tell you to do. If it were me, personally, I feel like you should stick to just one platform. I feel like, especially at the beginning of your journey when it comes to trying to build a brand in the streaming realm, it's really important to get that small group of dedicated viewers to your stream, the people that will keep coming back stream after stream, whether it's as little as 3, 4, 5 people or even up to 10 viewers. Building that initial small audience, that core audience that's going to come stream after stream, is super important and vital to your growth. And obviously I feel like the best way of achieving that is focusing on one platform to start and not dividing your audience. So this is where you kind of need to have that self-awareness, understand where you're at in your journey and where you're at with your current community, and make an educated decision. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, I am not multi-streaming. I am only streaming right here on YouTube. So if you want to check out one of my streams, I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday from 6:30 p.m. Eastern and on, and Saturday mornings whenever I get out of bed. So if you haven't yet, pop on by, say hello. We're starting to get more and more people every stream. It'd be awesome to have you guys. And past that, catch you next one.